could be love, because every time of my life, I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I'm holding on to you, 'cause every time of my life, and I search through every open door till I find the truth, and I'm holding on to you.
You're 16 again.
There is a story here, and I know it. Everything that I've read about this place, it's like it's a concentration camp on U.S. soil.
Trespassing on a closed and dangerous state property for your own classwork is unacceptable.
That is the first thing that mentions Waterwick, and I found it at Fort Victory. There is something else here, and I need to keep digging. I thought I'd never see you again.
I never left. And I never will.
Welcome, Quinn. Welcome to your past.
What is this place?
This is Waterwick. This is a place of memories. Your memories. You're here because you're sick. And you've been given a chance to get better.
To what do I owe this pleasure? To look into the eyes of my own creator.
What you saw out there, a mimic that inhabits this place. It'll try everything in its power to break your will.
I've missed you. It's been so long.
Some places are never fully destroyed. Good luck, Quinn.
Paradise lies within our reach. She will lead us there.
It's time for you to die all over again.
Introspection is a dangerous thing. Open the wrong door, and you may fall in, never to return.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Horrifying Tales of Horror. I'm Dylan.
I'm Chunky.
And this is a very special episode of the show. I know it sounds weird because it's only the 3rd episode of the show. But Larry and I have gone through a 2-episode curse when it goes to making shows together. So there was the first iteration of this show which was audio only. And I think it was just too ambitious for us because we're trying to do these segments like true crime and trivia and all this stuff. Just us, just audio recording with zero time to do any of the research or editing or any of that. So then we went on to start another show and it just, everybody kind of had their own stuff going on. But both of those each got 2 episodes recorded and kind of fell off. So I'm happy to make it over that 2-episode milestone to the 3rd episode. Feels good.
3 is a magic number, man.
It is. And I feel like
Right,
we're starting
yeah, it
to
is.
we're starting to get the groove. I feel
That's right. It's a magic number. A man and a woman had a little baby. There were 3. It's a magic number. That's some of that old conjunction junction shit. Schoolhouse rocking this bitch, daddy. So I gotta say, man, I feel a little weird.
Why's that?
Well, last episode you just did the introduction on your own.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. I don't know what to do with my hands. what do I do with these? I don't think that was it.
I almost felt the need to give like a disclaimer in the second episode, like mommy and daddy love each other very much, but we're gonna have 2 different Christmases.
Yeah. It was awkward because you got the weekends and I got the tail end, and I got to say goodbye to people, and you apparently didn't like the way I said goodbye to people, and
I wouldn't say that, but
so before we get into the show, I just wanted to tell people about the Sinister Creature Con, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So last month, I was a part of a really cool thing. It is the Sinister Creature Con. It is a biannual event held in Sacramento, and I got to do some really cool shit, dude. I got to moderate a panel which featured CJ Graham, Peter Cowper, who played the miner in My Bloody Valentine, Brad Laree, who was Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection, and Lee Waddell, who was Ghostface in the original Scream. And so I got to do that. I also did a really cool one-on-one interview with Peter Cowper, and I got some cool things, and I wanted to show you some of my convention swag, if you will. So go and tell time, kiddos. So first of all, I got this photo of Bonnie Aarons. This is from Jacob's Wife, which is just an insanely slept on fucking vampire film. And I know that my ring light's making the glare kind of glary, but then I got this. This is one of my favorite things fucking ever. This is an autographed photo of John Stanley. John Stanley was one of the hosts of the TV show Creature Features, which is where my other podcast gets its name from. I got to do a brief interview with him. That was fucking rad. Then I got this Chippendales photo of CJ Graham. Look at that. Yeah, CJ Graham all buff and topless. And then got me a Lee Waddell Ghostface. And I'm going to be going to Midsummer Scream this month. So I'm going to try to get that signed by the voice of Ghostface.
That's Roger Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's also the voice of Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, we met him at a convention a few years ago with their cast of Scream. He's a cool guy.
Then I also got this other CJ Graham because CJ Graham loves me. You see that? And it's got room for Bob Elmore and Robert Englund. If I meet Robert Englund, that would be a cool little random thing. Brad Laree killing Jamie Lee Curtis. Always cool in my book. You're cool when you murder Jamie Lee Curtis, let me tell you. Shawnee Smith. Might give that one to you because I know you're a Saw boy.
Hell yeah.
And it just says her name, so you can totally have that one. Then I got this one. This one I cannot give you because it says Too Chunky Larry. And it's Christine Elise and Alex Vincent.
That's fucking cool.
A lot smaller than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. that is a tiny guy. And then I got Casper Van Dien. It's pretty fucking cool, right? And it says Kill 'Em All on it. Howard Berger. And just a little heads up, I could be very soon interviewing Howard Berger, which would be fucking pretty rad.
Yeah.
Peter Cowper.
That's cool how you find that on the
on the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. the one I really just needed, Alyssa Rose. I got her to do the fucking face pose. Everybody fucking gets the face pose. It was the only fucking photo that I just needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of fucking work, lots
awesome,
of fucking
dude.
stress.
Do you feel like it paid off? Because I know you were stressed about it for a while.
I was stressing my ass off because you doing that shit. There's always something that could go wrong, and lots of stuff did, and it was just a matter of like rolling with the punches and shit. And it was really cool, man. I've worked a couple of times with conventions, but each time I feel like I learned something else, and I was really hands-on with a lot of the guests. The only one that was really like stay the fuck away from me was Fruza Balk, but she has stuff that she's got going on, so I totally understood it, and she was really fucking cool guest. So that is what it is. Anywho, just had to show off my things.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoyed my show and tell.
I think it's put away right now, but I had the first convention that we went to, we met Alex Vincent and Christina Leese, and they were the first guests that I met, and I was just blown away because Child's Play was like the thing that got me into horror. Like the first thing I remember watching, it was Child's Play 2 specifically, and I had the VHS tape of the second one, and I thought it was weird, so I went and brought it to Christina Leese first, and she flipped out, and she's like, I haven't seen one of these in years. And she went over to Alex Vincent, and she's like, look, I haven't seen one of these in years. And I was like, really? You're doing horror conventions? You haven't seen Child's Play 2 on VHS? But all right. But it was cool. Like, I was like, because I was like awkward as fuck. I've never met like celebrities or anybody up at that point. And she just grabbed my phone and was like, come on, we're taking selfies, and was like snapping all these selfies. And she's like, hang on, I got to get my hat. And like, and she's like, hold on, there's a weird angle, let's go over here. It was cool as hell. So it's always cool to do those conventions and meet the people that you kind of look up to, and they're just like rad fucking people and not snotty stuck up people. So because I've also had experiences where they're not the best people. So
definitely, dude, there's fucking stories I could tell, but I'm a professional, so I don't.
We could save it for another episode.
Yeah, maybe we'll have an
talk.
episode of grievances.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to hear us just fucking lambast something, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3. Let's jump into some segments.
Hi, I'm Brittany Vanicula, your play ghoul of horror, and here are the most anticipated horror movies releasing this July 2024. Starting off with a bang, and no, I'm not talking about those sketchy fireworks that your cousin somehow smuggled across the border. No, I'm talking about Maxine. Ty West's most popular trilogy concludes in theaters July 5th, with Mia Goth reprising her role as Maxine. The film is set in the 1980s and follows Maxine Minx, an adult film star who aspires to become an actress. However, just as her big break is about to happen, a mysterious killer known as the Night Stalker terrorizes her. Next up, we have Dead Whisper, which also hits theaters July 5th and VOD July 9th. This film revolves around Elliot Campbell, a Cape Cod lawyer lured to a mysterious island by an unknown force. Depressed over his daughter Elise's death, he feels that this place will provide him with mental serenity. It also offers the possibility of a reunion with her. However, there is a price for everything, and he may have to give up his soul for it to happen. I'd literally sell my soul for a hot dog if that tells you anything about me. Nicolas Cage is unhinged in what's probably the most anticipated horror movie of the summer, if not the whole year, Longlegs. hits theaters July 12th. The film, written and directed by Oz Perkins, revolves around a serial killer hunted by a rookie FBI agent, Lee Harker. As the investigation progresses, Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer that may help her stop him before he starts his killing spree once again. You know my long legs will be sprinting to the theater to see this one. Next, we have Lumina. This sci-fi horror is also releasing in theaters July 12th. Alex and Tatiana are a happy couple who adore their relationship, but never imagined it ending so quickly when Tatiana is abducted by mysterious forces with a blinding light. Alex seeks the help of his friends and various conspiracy theorists, journeying into the desert in search of clues about her abduction. However, the crew faces unanticipated hurdles, reducing their odds of survival to near zero. Oof, and you thought your situation was bad. For all of you who also have daddy issues, I bring you The Inheritance. Hits limited theaters and VOD July 12th as well. On the eve of his 75th birthday, billionaire Charles Abernathy invites his estranged children back home out of fear that tonight someone or something is going to kill him. He puts each of their inheritance on the line to ensure they'll keep him alive. The Blue Rose also hits limited theaters and VOD July 12th. A genre-bending surrealist noir set in the 1950s, The Blue Rose follows the one-night journey of two rookie detectives as they set out to solve a seemingly clear-cut homicide, only to find themselves in an alternate reality of their worst nightmares. And you thought Joan Crawford was scary. Releasing July 19th, we have Oddity. When Danny is brutally murdered at the remote country house that she and her husband Ted are renovating, everyone suspects a patient from a local mental health institution where Ted is a doctor. However, soon after the tragic killing, the suspect is found dead. A year later, Danny's blind twin sister Darcy, a self-proclaimed psychic and collector of cursed items, pays an unexpected visit to Ted and his new girlfriend Yana. Convinced that there was more to her sister's murder than people know, Darcy has brought with her the most dangerous items from her cursed collection to help her exact revenge. Do you guys miss Jon Snow running around with wolves? You know I do. Kit Harington stars in The Beast Within, which hits theaters July 26th. A series of strange events leads her to question her family's isolated life on a forfeited compound deep in the English wilds. 10-year-old Willow follows her parents on one of their secret late-night treks to the heart of the ancient forest. But upon witnessing her father undergo a terrible transformation, she too becomes ensnared by the dark ancestral secret they've tried so desperately to conceal. Also releasing July 26th to video on demand is Starve Acre. When their son starts acting strangely, a couple unwittingly allow dark, sinister forces into their home, awakening a long-dormant ancient evil rooted deep in the countryside. Something tells me it's not going to be Groot we'll be meeting here. Last but certainly not least, let's wrap up July with none other than a good old shark attack movie. The Last Breath also hits VOD July 26th. A group of old college friends reunite on a Caribbean trip, scuba diving trip, exploring the wreckage of a World War II battleship, and find themselves trapped inside the underwater labyrinth of rusted metal, surrounded by, you guessed it, great white sharks. There's nothing like getting your metal box chomped in the Caribbean. So that wraps up the most anticipated horror movies releasing this July. The horror genre is just exploding everywhere. There's literally new movies popping up every single day to just jump scare you right in the face. So if there are any movies that I might have missed coming out this July, please leave a comment down below. Until next time, I'm Brittany Benicula, your playghoul of horror, and may your summer be an absolute scream. Now back to your fabulous hosts.
What's going on, fellow insomniacs? This is Evil Dead 2, the abandonment of all fact and reason, and the embracing of opinionative nonsense. This could be you. One day you could be minding your own business, probably at a coffee shop, because that's where these types of people hang out. They'll be hearing you have a conversation, and they'll pop up and be like, I love Evil Dead 2, and you'll roll your eyes, because you know it sucks. He'll give you all kinds of fun facts, all kinds of stupid shit that you didn't care about the film. Oh, did you know about this? Did you know about this? And you'll look right back at him and be like, oh, that's great. The movie's still lazy, and it sucks. What a horrible piece of shit this film is. The first one was so good. It gives you so much. And you know what? You'll tell people that, and they'll give it back to you, and you'll agree, and it'll be wonderful. And then Evil Dead 2 comes up, and everybody tries to defend it, but it's lazy. Evil Dead 2 had twice the budget of Evil Dead 1, and it did half the shit. Bruce Campbell chases his hand around for like 45 minutes. You didn't need a reimagining of Evil Dead 1. Why would you reimagine a perfect film? Evil Dead 1 is almost perfect. You know what? They made an adult film after Evil Dead, and that film was better than Evil Dead 2. Evil Head. And you know what's the cherry on top of this donkey shit of a cake? It's called Evil Dead 2, but you guys are all like, it's a reimagining. Okay, if it's a reimagining, why not just call it Evil Dead? I'm just trying to warn you. If you smell something weird when you're in public, it's an Evil Dead 2 apologist approaching you from some sort of angle, or you're sharing the space with them. Approach with caution, turn around, run away, do not engage.
What are you doing?
I'm running away from you.
Yeah, but why are you running like that?
I'm just running.
No, I've seen you run before. You can actually run.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
I'm just saying, I know that you can actually run.
Do you want me to actually run?
Well, it would make it more of a challenge. You've kind of taken the fun out of killing you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I would just like a little challenge, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I can make it a challenge.
You do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that would be so great.
Yeah, no, for sure. You want to start again?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Okay, cool. Sorry again.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go.
Yes, perfect. This will be fun.
I believe I have made a significant find in the Kandarian runes, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated, Book of the Dead. The book is bound in human flesh and inked in human blood. It deals with demons, demon resurrection and those forces which roam the forest and dark bowers of man's domain. The first few pages warn that these enduring creatures may lie dormant, but are never truly dead. They may be recalled to active life through the incantations presented in this book. It is through recitation of these passages that the demons are given license to possess the living.
Why did you lock me down here? You were supposed to help me.
Hey, we're trying to help. Okay. You were out of control. No, you got violent and we didn't know what else to do. Yeah. Like something really terrible has happened and we have to get out of here now, okay?
I don't understand. He's not gonna let you leave. And he's not gonna stop until he has you. Until he has all of you! I can smell your filthy soul.
Dylan.
Yes. I'm sorry, okay?
So we were coming up with things to do on the show, having kind of like a conversation piece for every episode. And in each one so far up to this point, it's been kind of a theme, and you decided you wanted to kind of break tradition, I'm assuming. Because you were like, let's review a movie.
So I feel kind of bad because we were spitballing all these ideas of what we could talk about, and you were coming up with some solid stuff, and I'm like, hey, have you seen VHS? Let's cover VHS. There was a couple reasons why I wanted to do it. One is because I had a feeling that you wouldn't like it. So I feel like it would have made good conversation. It's not my favorite movie, so I'm not going to be, heartbroken about hearing your opinions on it. But for me, the way that the movie's put together is kind of what I envisioned doing for this show. And
I saw that watching the movie. The movie.
And I feel like I subconsciously kind of like took inspiration from the way that movie was put together when editing the show. So thinking about it, I was like, I think it would be cool to go on and talk about it like an anthology within an anthology.
Yeah.
So it's a movie too where, like I said, it's not my favorite movie, and watching it, anytime I watch it, I'm like, this kind of sucks. But for some reason, it's one that I always go back to, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood to watch VHS. Let's watch VHS. I prefer the second one, which we'll talk about at some point. But I wanted to talk about it. I thought it would be a fun little conversation piece. So
the thing that I find interesting about VHS is that it's not only an anthology film, it's a found footage anthology film. And there's like going into it, I was a little trepidatious, I'm not gonna lie. Because as you know, I'm not like a huge fan of found footage films.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Frogman. I loved The Taking of Deborah Logan. Like, that fucking movie rules. But for the most part, I find them to be kind of drab, and it's like part of the conceit of it being a found footage film is that you're not going to see a lot. Like, you see stuff in The Taking of Deborah Logan, and you see some stuff in Frogman, but it's like, usually when the things that are like lingered on in traditional film, the reveal of the monster and all that shit, usually they try to like build the tension of revealing them and linger on like the gnarly cool shit that the makeup designers created. This found footage the people that are filming this are typically trying to get away from that gnarly thing. So you're not going to see them clearly. You're not going to see a lot of the violence that takes place. You're going to hear noise kind of off screen, and they're freaking out and panicking. Why they don't put the camera down, nobody fucking knows. Like, you know, so there's a lot of those elements to that. And I think that, you know, part of this being an anthology is then you have to come up with different reasons why they wouldn't put the camera down.
Yeah.
And they recycled the same shtick in this, where they had the glasses that could, you know, record, and then they had the guy dressed up like he was a nanny cam bear. And it's like, so okay, so he's just wearing, so cool.
So with found footage, it's kind of funny because I feel like that's the first genre of horror films that I just shit on. But then when people ask me like, oh, what are some of your favorite horror films? I always find myself listing like Hell House LLC is one that like genuinely creeped me the fuck out. It creeped me the fuck out.
Have you seen the new one?
No, I watched the first one, and then we started the second one, and I couldn't get into it as much as the first one. I want to go back and watch all of them because I love the first one. But things like As Above, So Below, I fucking love that movie. Like, there's a lot that are really well done, and a part of the reason why I like the second VHS, and I'm trying not to jump into that one too much because I do want to talk about that one at some point, is that the second one, it's a lot of different subgenres. Like, there's a cult segment, there's an alien abduction segment, there's a paranormal segment, there's a zombie segment. It's all different takes on it, where I feel like this first one, it's a lot of repeated themes for the most part of like, these are shitty people kind of getting their revenge or comeuppance. Yeah. So
but I do feel like they do delve into different territories. So like, you know, the first one's like a vampire kind of golem thing. And then you've got, you know, the boyfriend and girlfriend on the road together, and they're filming their vacation, but then there's this weird element of somebody stalking them. And, you know, that one also, like, the way that they do that makes sense. Then, you know, there's one with the cult element and, you know, them trying to sacrifice somebody. Then there's one where they're in the woods, and it's like a slasher film that just happens to be, you know, a found footage slasher film. And that's my favorite one of the stories.
That's funny because that one was my least favorite.
Oh, dude, I fucking loved that one.
I went through and I rated each individual segment and did like an average for it. But what I like about this movie is it's kind of the first film, for the most part, of a lot of people that are really big today. So like the wraparound segment was done by I think that's the one that was done by Adam Wingard, who has done the Godzilla vs. Kong and all those movies. Ty West is the one that did Second Honeymoon with the couple that were getting stalked. So you get a lot of these. Radio Silence did the last segment that takes place on Halloween. Yeah. So it's cool to see kind of like the start of their careers, or like the early part of their careers. And these were people that, when we watched, I say we, Sierra and I, we watched the first movie when it came out in 2012, and we were hooked on these filmmakers, and it introduced us to Ty West, to where we were like, oh, let's go check out The House of the Devil and Innkeepers, and they did You're Next, and we checked that out. One of my favorite movies. So it's this whole group that we followed for a while of filmmakers that made some of my favorite movies. So seeing them all kind of blend together into one project was a cool thing to do.
So here's my thing, and you'd mentioned that this is kind of the starting point for a ton of people that are big names within the genre now, and you see that you see a lot of, especially that last one with the radio silence guys.
Yeah.
Like that's action heavy, and they really swing for the fences with it. And again, I was complaining, or my main complaint about found footage is that more often than not, it's left to the theater of the mind, and there's not a lot that you're showing. They show so much in this.
Yeah.
Like the last honeymoon, there's one specific moment, and it's the only real moment of violence, but it's so unflinching, and like it doesn't look away, and like that shit fucking sat with me, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, whoa. Because you watch that person just like their life force drain out, and it feels like a snuff film.
Yeah.
But the main like takeaway watching this is that if any time at any point a man gets their hands on a camera, they're trying to do creepy sex shit with the camera. Like I need to see a titty.
Yeah.
I just need to see a fucking titty, dog. Like just grab this chick and pull her shirt up.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we doing that?
I remember I messaged you. I was like, I promise the second one's better. You're like, you mean less rapey? It's like, yeah, it is less rapey, but quality wise too.
So literally the entire time I'm watching this movie, Dylan just keeps repeating to me and like messaging me like, I swear to God, I swear on a stack of Bibles, the next one isn't this bad. I'm like, so what you're saying is this movie's kind of fucking bad.
Yeah.
And so I've watched it twice now.
Okay.
And the second time around, I enjoyed it a lot more.
Okay.
So the first story with the girl, I like you.
Yeah.
That one's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like,
It's they actually made so David Bruckner directed that one, and he actually made a whole spin-off movie based on that segment with the actress who played the siren. It's called Siren. I haven't watched it, but
maybe we should.
Yeah.
Okay, why not?
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't think it's found footage.
The bone?
Yeah.
Fuck. So I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I fucking like, you want to get me to cringe? Like just like shrink up into a fucking ball. Skateboarding videos where people break their bones, broken bone videos.
For me, it's anything with fingernails, like fingernails getting ripped off or anything like. Nope, can't do it.
So you love Stir of Echoes?
Yeah, nope.
So you said you had rated each one of these shorts.
I did,
and then you came up with an overall number. So I want to hear that number, and then I'll give you mine.
Okay. Do you want me to go through the shorts and?
Yeah.
Okay. So the wraparound, I gave a 6 out of 10. I was so back and forth with it because obviously it cuts to it after each segment. So like I'd start out with like a 4, and then the next part I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, and I jumped to like a 7, and then I jumped back down to a 5, and it was back and forth. But there's a lot of creepy parts to it, like when they're in the basement and you see the old man kind of walk by the stack of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I thought that was well done with it. So that one I gave it a 6 out of 10. Amateur Night, which is the one with the siren, I gave a 3 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah. Which is my lowest rated on here. It's just very like rapey and awkward, and it not my thing. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Second Honeymoon, up until this watch, was always my favorite. I think that it's eerie without even. I feel like it's the most believable and most tame one out of all of these segments, and it's still the creepiest to me. So that one I gave a 7 out of 10. Tuesday the 17th, which was the one in the woods with the killer, I also gave a 3 out of 10. The idea was interesting, but I don't know. Just something about it just annoyed me. I feel like they just played up the tropes so much, but
That's
also
kind of what I loved about it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's taking those tropes and applying them to found footage, and then the killer being like a glitch in the system.
Yeah.
I just thought was fucking brilliant.
So the next one, the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger, I gave a 5.5 out of 10. Something that I thought was cool about this one was the whole like Zoom horror thing really got big during COVID. Like movies like Host or Unfriended, stuff like that, which I think that might have came out before, but this is the first example I can think of like a video call horror movie, if that makes sense.
I think it works better in a short form, so I dug that it was short and sweet.
Yeah. Like I watched Host recently because I heard so much good stuff about it, and I feel like it was so drawn out, and the whole time I'm like, this could have worked as like a 20 or 30 minute film, but not an hour and a half feature film. So 10/31/98, which was the radio silence one at the end, I gave a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that one's great.
I loved it. I thought that so much stuff was well done with like the arms coming out of the walls, like the special effects and everything. And I loved the like lightheartedness to it. Like these guys just stumble on this cult that they think they're going to a party, and I love when they get up to the top of the attic and the guys are yelling, "Cast him down," and they start yelling it too, and they just look like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
And it just ends on such a bleak note too, of them like trying to do the right thing and save this girl, and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So in total, I added up all my ratings, and I got a 5.3 out of 10.
You picked this.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in higher than you.
Okay.
Out of 10, I'm going to give this a 7.2.
Okay.
I thought that upon second viewing and understanding that was just the rapey element of it was something I was just going to have to deal with. I looked at the stories for what they were. I thought, you know, with the exception of them kind of using that same shtick with the person wearing the camera twice, overall each one was able to differentiate themselves while still feeling tonally similar. And I thought that the fucking gore was excellent in this fucking movie, like excellent. And it went places where it startled me. Even on a second viewing, I was startled, especially the long honeymoon. And or the second honeymoon? Is
second honeymoon, yeah.
Because there's one point where he says to her, you know, I kind of want to go to Vegas. I want to play craps. But it feels like he's trying to elope. And he's not, you know, outright saying it, but
it's
like,
almost
that's
almost
a vibe
eerie.
that I got.
It's almost eerie to watch it a second time around too, because like knowing what's gonna happen, because you pick up on all this stuff, like when he's like, "Oh, did you take my money?" and he's like, "Wouldn't be the first time. Like, hope you buy something nice." And it's like you get these like little glimpses of, okay, they're on this trip together, but they're not as happy as they're coming off to be, and this is what's gonna lead to that, you know. So
yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed it, and I guess we can watch the next one.
All right.
So maybe next episode we'll discuss that one.
Hints.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
How can you live like this, Chris?
What are you giving me crap about now, Gina?
Your desk, Chris. Does this look professional? You're living in squalor.
The janitor will take care of it.
The janitor left, remember?
All right, Gina, I'll take care of it.
You always say that, Chris.
I'm busy.
Too busy to walk out of your office and put the trash in the bin?
I'll have you know that scientific research shows that people with messy desks are highly intelligent. Squalor is a sign of genius.
You're gonna get bugs.
Jean, do you mind? I'll see you on Monday. I'll be here for another hour and then I'll close the place. Now get out of here.
Jerk.
What the hell was that? Gina, are you still here?
Who's ever doing this, you are so fired.
Where's my phone? Hello? Are you the janitor? I thought you quit. Hello? Hey buddy, we gotta get out of here. There's something in the building. Hey, we gotta call the cops. There's something in the building.
I'm Richard Tanner of Buckshort Productions, and this is the pitch to my new movie, Screw Year's Eve. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jessa, and I'm playing Jen in Screw Year's Eve.
I'm Danielle Page, and I'll be playing Bev in Screw Year's Eve.
Hey guys, I'm Suji, or Suji Sabat Holder. I'll be playing Stephanie in a Buckshort Productions new movie, Screw Year's Eve.
What's up, sickos? I'm John Devlin, and in Screw Year's Eve, I'll be playing DJ Yes.
Oh, hello there. I'm Richard Tanner from Buckshort Productions. You may remember us from such films as Frankenthug, or Mother News presents Once Upon a Nightmare. Great flicks in their own right, but here today, I'm going to talk to you about our newest film, Screw Year's Eve. Screw Year's Eve is about a group of friends who decide to ring in the new year at an extravagant 80s themed party, hosted in a remote warehouse at the edge of town. As the night unfolds, they quickly realize they are not alone. They find themselves hunted by a merciless killer, directed by myself, Richard Tanner, written by Sean Donahue of Gator Blade fame, and starring Jessa Flux, Sushi Yvette Holder, Danielle Page, John Devlin, Hunter Redfern, and many more faces that you'll know and love.
Make sure you back us because we need your money to make a really cool movie. Bye.
Well, if you've reached this point of the episode, you know that you have made it. You have, much like us, survived yet another episode of the Horrifying Tales of Horror. We've done it. We've finally broken the curse. We have made it 3 fucking whole ass episodes. And I want to thank you specifically. Yeah, no, you, the one eating the Cheetos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting us to this milestone. 3 episodes. Who'd have thunk it? But I also want to specifically thank the people that helped contribute to this episode and make it what it was, the enjoyable experience that it was. I want to start with Brittany Panicula, who did a tremendous job highlighting the horror films that are releasing this month. I'm most excited for fucking Maxine, if I'm being terribly honest. And I know that, you know, allowing myself to be excited about something is always a recipe for letting myself down. But I really love fucking Pearl, and I cannot wait to see that. So take of that what you fucking will. I want to thank Will with Flicker Treat Productions for allowing us to use his short film Squalor. I think that dude is really fucking fantastic. If you're not following him, absolutely do so. It's Flicker Treat Productions on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, just tremendous fucking creator. I also want to thank Melody and Moonlight for her Evil Dead transformation. It is a very painful thing, and we had to put her in our fucking fruit cellar because, you know, can't have her fucking with the kids. That would be weird. I don't need CPS coming to my house because I've got some demonic chick biting my children, turning them into demons. They're already demonic. I can't do that. But I absolutely want to thank her for contributing. I want to specifically thank, even though I am specifically thanking all these people, Taylor Complains, because speaking of Evil Dead, his Evil Dead 2 take is something that I completely agree with, and that's important. I should agree with your opinions, because if I don't, then we're arguing, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear Chunky Larry arguing with people unless they follow me on TikTok. Want to thank Rebecca Attack for her charming Friday the 13th Canadian style fucking film. I think that was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, you can follow her on all of the platforms. Search Rebecca Attack. You might also find her at Your Resident Spooky Girl. And then my good buddy, the Leatherface for the Merkins, Josh, also known as Nerdy Hillbilly 3112 on Tickum Talks, and he's a tremendous fucking guy. I love to see him dance with a chainsaw. It does things to my testicles that I don't really know quite how to explain. And then, last but certainly not least, the film Waterwick. Give it a day in court. Give it a watch. Look for it. Find it. Search it out. Hunt it down. And enjoy it. I'm undoubtedly going to review it because I review every horror film released in 2024. But those are the kind of people who were kind enough to contribute content to this episode. But if you want to find out more about us, the Horrifying Tales of Horror, you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can start by liking us on Facebook, facebook.com/HTOH pod, by following us on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, if you're watching this, you know that we're on YouTube at HTOH pod. HTOH pod is where you can find us all over the world of social media. If you're curious, where do I find horrifying tales of horror? It's HTOH pod. If I haven't said it enough, HTOH pod is the way that you would get to that point of finding us. Yeah, no, that's right. Want to give you a special thanks to people that aren't giving me money, but hopefully one day they will. The people at Mamitu. Mamitu is a free streaming service app where you can stream all kinds of different horror films. Sinister Brew Coffee, they are a horror themed coffee company that make tremendous fucking coffee. iHorror, they're a news source. I want them to give me money too. Bloody Disgusting, another news source. Want them to give me money too. All of you guys, Sliced Pizza in Las Vegas, Nevada. I want you to give me money. All of you guys, give Chunky Larry money. Give me money. Dylan doesn't want money. He doesn't care about that stuff. He's a monk or something. But I do. I want money. If you want to fucking promote your shows, your fucking brands, your streaming services, your news services, holler at your boy, because I'm hard up for cash and I don't want to work for a living anymore. It's really bad for the glandulars. If you want to find out more about me, you can do that in a couple of different ways. You could like and subscribe to my other podcast, the Creature Features podcast. We do weekly. This is bi-weekly. That is weekly. And next week on the Creature Features podcast, I am going to have Dylan from this show talking to me about Eaten Alive, the Tobe Hooper film, as a part of the Video Nasties theme. Yesterday, we dropped Cannibal Holocaust. And next week, we're dropping Eaten Alive. And that'll kind of get you up to speed. We're talking about the Video Nasties list. These are films that were banned in Europe by the BBFC and Mary Whitehouse. So it's a whole fucking thing. We're talking about censorship all month on the Creature Features podcast. But if you haven't gotten enough conversation of movies between me and Dylan, who tricked me into watching VHS, and I'll never fucking forgive him. I love him, and I will absolutely be talking to him again next week on Eaten Alive. And then the week after that, we return for Horrifying Tales of Horror, where we'll be talking again about all kinds of other stuff. And we've got a lot of stuff planned for the next episode of Horrifying Tales of Horror. So we're alive. We exist. We are officially moving forward. We've passed the major hurdle of the 2-episode slump when it comes to podcasts with me and Dylan. And so, definitely subscribe to all of our stuff. Give us all kinds of love. Say good things in the comments. And you can say bad things in the comments if you want. If you wanted to be a dick, you can feel free to say bad things in the comments. I wouldn't like it. Just if you, like, I'm being honest, it would hurt my feelings. You really want to hurt my feelings? Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Anywho, I'm going to get out of here before I say anything else stupid. This is like the 6th or 7th time that I've recorded this goodbye, because I can't say goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye, but we have to say goodbye. So for Dylan, for Melody, for Brittany, for Will, for Taylor, for Rebecca, for Josh, for Waterwick, and for myself, again, my name is Chunky. This has been another episode of the Horrifying Tales of Horror, only on YouTube. And take care, you guys. I don't want you to listen with someone you trust. I want you to listen with someone you don't trust. I want you to listen with someone you downright loathe. I want you to watch me drink coffee. Take care. Bye-bye. Take it away, Jason and the Krugers.
I'm going to give this a shot. You ready? If you're gonna scream with me, well, it's like this heaven.